on YouTube. This is Kiaguyjoe here, and today I'm back with another video. As you guys can see here, I have the 2022 Kia EV6. This is Kia's brand new all-electric crossover SUV, whatnot. Very nice vehicle in this nice shade of blue here. This shade of blue is called Yacht Blue. Very beautiful blue here. One of the better blues that I've seen on any vehicle in a while. But this vehicle seems to be very popular, guys. I just seen an article saying how Kia has already sold about 2,000 of these vehicles here. These things are flying off the shelves, guys. Very popular. I can kind of see why. It looks good in person. It looks a lot better in person, that's for sure. Judging from other pictures and other videos that I've seen of the EV6. But before we get into this review here, make sure you guys please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the new subscribers and whatnot, everybody who's been communicating with me in the comments. I really love the feedback, whether it's negative or positive. I know I have a few people, complaining about the wind and traffic noise and whatnot here. Just be patient, guys. I am getting a new camera soon. So guys, just bear with me. Just keep liking, sharing, and let me know your feedbacks in the comments and whatnot. I really appreciate all of them. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this 2022 Kia EV6. Alright guys, starting off in front of the 2022 Kia EV6. Looks very, very good. As you guys can see, first thing that you guys will probably notice are these full LED headlights with LED turn signals and whatnot. LED low and high beams, very bright, and should look pretty decent behind you. You should automatically know what kind of vehicle this is once you see the daytime running lights as well. The LED turn signal doubles as the LED daytime running light as well. It's on the top and the bottom. I thought it was just the top that's reflected to the bottom, but it's actually the top and the bottom. As you guys can see, you have the new Kia logo as well. Looks pretty nice. I'm getting used to the Kia logo. You have your front camera here because this vehicle does have the 360 camera, which I didn't think it would come with. I thought you had to get the GT-Line or a trim above the GT-Line to get this. But this is the GT-Line. Sorry about that. This is the GT-Line. So you do have the 360 camera here. The only openings on the grille here are on the bottom towards the radiator to pull in some air for AC cooling and whatnot. This is one of the few electric vehicles that I know of that still have openings in the front. But of course, Kia and Honda, they're different. They still love to follow the theme of keeping their cars simple, almost relatively the same, but with differences in between them as well. As you guys can see, the hood is low, it's sloping with two hood lines on the front as well. Looks very aggressive. As I said, you guys should know what kind of vehicle this is, or should easily see what kind of vehicle this is behind you. It's very wide as well. I didn't think it would be this wide in person, but it is very wide. So you guys be mindful of that. It's between the Kia EV6 or the Ioniq 5. And I think me and him both agreed that if the EV6 or the Hyundai Ioniq had the EV6's interior, that we would probably choose the Hyundai Ioniq. Because the exterior of the Hyundai Ioniq, I think it looks a little better to me, in my opinion. Just a futuristic look overall. I would probably just choose the Hyundai Ioniq with those LED pixel lights and whatnot. Coming to the side portions of the EV6, as you guys can see, this vehicle is pretty long. I mean, I guess I'm not sure of the length of the vehicle, but I'm pretty sure it fits right in within the class and whatnot of competitors. The wheel sizes on this EV6 is 235/55 by 19s. Very nice looking wheel with a lot of meat on it. I love the wheel design. They have these small inlet openings right here, but everything else is pretty much black painted and two-tone silver and black. Looks very nice. This is a rear wheel driven EV6 right here. You can get all-wheel drive, but of course that will drop your range. We'll talk about range in a minute. As you guys can see, you have a roof panel, well, not fully panel sunroof, but you do have a glass roof, and this roof actually opens up. On the Ioniq, the glass is fixed, it does not open up. So if you guys want to be able to open up your sunroof and let some fresh air in, you have to go for the EV6. Coming to the rear of the EV6, as you guys can see here, I actually appreciate the rear of the EV6 in person. I really think it looks better in person than in pictures or other videos. You guys really have to see this vehicle in person to judge it yourself. But as you guys can see here, full LED tail light with your light signature that goes across the whole vehicle. I'm really glad that Kia didn't decide to put the turn signal anywhere else below the bumper. I really like it up here, and I like the, you know, the pixelated dash look that they have for the LED lights as well. Looks pretty nice. You have this silver trim right here that flows from the headlight or from the tail lights all the way down, goes all the way around on the other side, as you guys can see. Very nice, very nice. Very subtle EV6 badge. I'm not sure what kind of font this is, but it looks funky, looks pretty nice. And GT-Line right there as well. I believe the GT-Line is just the GT-Line. They do have trims called Win, and I believe Light is the other trim. But I'm not sure if the GT line comes in those trims. As you guys can see, the glass window right here for the rear. There is no rear window wiper. I know I've seen some complaints about the EV6 not having the rear wiper, but I don't think it's a big deal. This roof is sloped enough for any kind of water and whatnot to just slide off the window. A very subtle spoiler right here, 2 inlets for air to come in, and of course this is an all-electric vehicle, so you guys will not find any muffler or any exposed exhaust and whatnot. The reverse lights are actually down here, as you guys can see, very low. I'm not sure how many people will actually be able to see that if you're backing up, but that's what Kia did. But as long as they kept the turn signal up high, then that's okay with me. Checking out the rear cargo space of the EV6. This has a lot of space, guys, very high up. You guys can probably fit a lot of stuff in here. A couple of roller bags, boxes and whatnot. A lot of space in this cargo room. I'm not sure of the cargo numbers, but of course I'll be able to put that in the video when I get the chance. As you guys can see, the rear second row reclines. This guy right here is in the recline position, and that one is in the forward most position right there. You have LED lights for the rear as well on one side, just on one side, and you can also fold these seats down from the rear as well by holding that latch, and they also have one on that side. Seats don't fold completely flat, they kind of, you know, anchored up a little bit, but it's enough room to fit some longer items in here as well. Very nice feature right there. Under the cargo mat, you don't have a spare tire, except you have a tire mobility kit right there, and you also have, I believe this is the charger to connect to different or other EVs to give some juice to those vehicles if they're running low, which this vehicle is capable of. But there's also something that may turn, you know, prospective buyers away from this vehicle, and I'm going to talk about that in a quick second. The latch right here to open the trunk, the button is right there next to the rear or reverse camera right there. You have your LED lights for your license plate, and you have a button or the handle to close the trunk. One thing that's pretty neat is if you push the hood down, it will stay in that position. It will stay fixed in that position, so that's a very neat feature. You can just push the button and it will go down all the way. So no matter what level that you put the rear hatch in, it will stay in that position, which is a very neat feature. So let's talk about the one thing that may push EV6 buyers away from this vehicle. First of all, this is the EV6, the charging door right here, just like, you know, your regular gas tank and whatnot. All you gotta do is push it and it'll open and whatnot. As you guys can see here, this is your charging ports right here with your bars and whatnot to let you know the power level on the vehicle. I believe you can charge this on a 240 volt infrastructure. You can charge this vehicle to 80% in about 18 minutes, if I'm correct on that. But the thing about it is, guys, the charging network isn't too strong here in the US yet. Everybody knows that Tesla has that industry dominated right now with their various chargers all over the country. Tesla is supposed to be opening up their supercharger network soon. They're testing it right now in Europe, I believe, and they're supposed to be bringing it here to the States. But once they do bring it to the States, guys, best believe those superchargers at the Tesla, for the Teslas, are going to be backed up, because then you have Teslas and you also have EV6s, you have the Mach-E's, you have the Volkswagen ID4s, and you also have the sister vehicle to this, the Ioniq 5. And of course you also have the other branded charging networks as well, but those have been getting a bad name lately. If you guys really want more power, you're going to have to wait for the GT, which should be coming out soon, and that should have about 500 horsepower. And I've been told that this vehicle feels fast, and I can definitely say if this one feels fast, then I can only imagine what the GT feels like. So if you guys want more power, just wait for the GT when that comes out sometime later this year. You can charge another EV as well by I forgot what they call it, but you can also charge another EV that's running low on power. This also is a soft closing door, guys. As you guys can see, you don't have to slam it, it will automatically close. Here under this clamshell type of hood. Again, guys, this isn't a Tesla, so you won't find too much room under the hood here. You'll still find your normal, you know, windshield washer fluid, radiator fluid and whatnot, brake fluid. Things you can still access, things that you want to access yourself instead of being, you know, shunned away from it like some automakers are going to, even to the point where you can't even open the hood up. But under this little EV hood here, you'll find a little bit of storage here. Of course, you won't probably fit groceries or anything like that in here, but it's probably useful for some things. I'm just not sure what you would be able to put in this hood right here, but it is there if you need it. All right, guys, before we hop inside the EV6, let's take a look here at the key fob. As you guys can see, you have this detonator style key with the lock and a lock button on the sides and whatnot. But this vehicle also has remote start, and it also has the park assist feature where you can move the vehicle forward and backward out of tight spaces. And there we go, so I'll power it on. And to move the vehicle forward, what you have to do is hold the button, and it should start to move forward for you. As you guys can see, if you let go of the button, it'll automatically stop, or if you step in front or something steps in front of the vehicle, it will also automatically stop as well. So that's a very neat feature, and it also makes that neat tone that will let you know that this vehicle is backing up. Right now, all you have to do to turn it off is to press the restart button, and it automatically turns off. I think a lot of people might use it just to show it off, honestly. Alright, walking up to the EV6, all you have to do is have the key in your pocket on your hand and whatnot. As you guys can see, the mirrors will unfold and the handles will pop out on all doors. Very neat. You guys might be wondering, what if the vehicle dies? Well, Kia thought about that, and they actually have a manual keyhole behind the door handle right there. So very nice forward thinking right there. These handles feel pretty nice and solid. They do feel unusual in the hand, so you might have to grab it with your hand, with an underhand like that, so you can grab it all the way. I'm gonna look here at the door panel here. As you guys can see, some soft touch leather right here. Very hot in the sun. So you got some more of that soft touch padded leather right here, more right here. You have some piano black plastic trim right there, right by your window controls, which are automatic for the front and manual for the rear. I'm not sure what trim or if any trims will have automatic windows for all four. You have your silver painted door handle right there. You have 2-person memory seating. You have some hard touch plastics right here. That's cream in color. Hard touch plastics, hard touch plastics. This right here is a damped material right here. The same material that you would find in some glove compartments and whatnot. So that's a nice little touch right there. This vehicle has I believe a 10-speaker Meridian sound system right here. I believe this is the first vehicle to use Meridian. Other Kia products use Krell and of course Harman Kardon, but this one has a Meridian sound system. But the stepping height is pretty high, so you guys could have no problem getting in and out this vehicle. And closing the door here, as you guys can see, nice and solid sounding right there. No rattles or shakes throughout the door. Sounds pretty nice, very solid and whatnot. And taking a look here around this interior, nice and dark and black, how I prefer my vehicles, but it does have some more of that cream color to break up the black, get a little bit of light in here. But as you guys can see, take a look at this interior. You guys just have to see this interior at night. This is where this vehicle really shines. Has some nice LED ambient lighting. They're very competitive to some other EVs and whatnot. But as you guys can see here, taking a look here at the steering wheel, new Kia logo of course in the front, and you have this rather nice looking shape here. It feels nice in the hands. It is leather wrapped. I was told that you cannot get a heated steering wheel on the rear wheel drive model. You have to go for all-wheel drive to get heated steering wheel, which is very odd. I believe you shouldn't have to compromise something like that for all-wheel or rear wheel drive, but that's what Kia did. Not sure why they did that, but that's what they did. So if you guys want a heated steering wheel, be mindful that you're going to have to go for an all-wheel drive model to get a heated steering wheel. But it does have heated and cooled seats, so we'll get to that in a second. But the rest of the steering wheel, you have your lane keep assist, you have your steering assist right there, you have your cruise control buttons on the left hand side as well. On the right hand side, you have your phone and volume controls. So Kia, they kind of switched up the side. Yeah, of course you have your favorites button right there. You can map that to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, or any other kind of setting in the vehicle. You have your drive mode selector right here, which is a good place. I like it better right on the steering wheel than somewhere down here. But on the drive mode selector, of course, you have your normal, sport, and eco. And as you guys can see, when I change the drive mode setting, it'll also give me an estimate of the range. And also, you know, change the dash layout a little bit with a different theme color and whatnot. Very nice. But we'll get to that whole screen in a second, because as you guys can see, this is a large curved screen right here. The horn sounds pretty nice and beefy and loud. You would expect that in a vehicle of this price point, of this size. Looking at the bottom side of the left side of the steering wheel here, you have an illumination control right there to dim the interior lighting. This will dim the dash lighting, and that's very dim right there. And I believe it dims the ambient lighting as well, but I can't confirm that right now because it is very bright and sunny out here. As you guys can see, you have your electronic parking brake right there. You have traction control, a button to open the rear hatch, and a button to open the charge port right there. Very convenient. All your switches are right there in one place and not buried into a menu like some manufacturers are doing. And of course, you have your windshield wiper stocks and your turn signal stocks right there, right on the steering wheel. You have paddle shifters on the steering wheel column, but they aren't for shifting because remember, this is an electric car. But what these paddles do is they change the regenerative braking amount. So if you guys look at that blue sort of line right there, if I hit the paddle shifter, well, it won't work right now because I'm not driving it, but these paddle shifters will change the amount of power that goes back into the battery when you hit those paddles. So you can go from a very aggressive to where the vehicle will come to a stop in itself, or you know, it will come to it will slow roll, I guess you can say, and it'll also, you know, give some juice back into the battery. So that's a very good idea, other than, you know, some other manufacturers where they bury that option into the screen again. Taking a look here at the dash, you have some soft feeling material right here. I believe this is some sort of recycled material that Hyundai and Kia are starting to use, these, you know, recycled products. Feels pretty nice, and it has this nice design to it as well, and it also has some sort of, you know, tactile feel to it as well. Up top is, this is hard touch plastics up here. You also have a heads-up display right here that shows a good bit of information, such as your speed and your lane keep assist and whatnot. I'm pretty sure my camera's not picking that up, but this vehicle does have a heads-up display, so be mindful of that. You have your AC vents right here with this line that flows across the whole AC vent. This portion is not an AC, it's just there for show, but rather way on that side as well. And if you guys look closely right here, if my camera picks it up, you guys can see you have some LED ambient lighting right there that goes across the whole dash. That looks very, very nice when it's dark. These seats right here are very comfortable. I believe they are a 12-way adjustable. Very comfortable, nice and padded. As I said earlier, these seats come with a leather or this cloth option right here. This area isn't padded or anything, but it doesn't feel too hard, or at least, you know, to your elbows and whatnot. It feels pretty nice actually. It's nice and deep and whatnot for any sort of storage and whatnot you may have. Actually no button or anything to open it, you just open it, so that's very nice as well. Right here you have your wireless charging pad for your mobile phones. You have two cup holders right here. Right here you have your camera button right there, which you can use to activate the 360 camera, as you guys can see. Very nice, very high res 360 camera right there. Only complaint is that the vehicle is not the same color as the vehicle you have. I believe it's always default to white. Just a minor detail, but you know, it works and it's looks very nice. You also have auto hold and a button to disable your parking sensors. This right here controls the shifter right there. Of course, you have P for park, R for reverse, and once you put the vehicle in reverse, you do have a sound outside to let, you know, pedestrians and whatnot know that you're reversing. Go to the middle for neutral, and all to the left, or to the right rather, for drive. And of course, P for park. This right here is your power button to, of course, turn on the vehicle. At some point I found myself hitting this button right here, thinking this was the power button instead of pressing here. So you guys might find that a little confusing when you first get in this vehicle, thinking this is a power button when this is a power button right here. You have this area is pretty nice and wide. It doesn't move like in the Ioniq 5. You cannot move this forward and backward. It is in a fixed position, so you guys be mindful of that. You have this nice silver trim right here. This is the sort of material I would really like to see Kia start to use instead of piano black plastic trim everywhere. It probably won't get damaged as quick as piano black plastic, and definitely won't show as much fingerprints for sure. Up here is a nice little area where you have your heated and cooled seats for your both passenger and of course your driver. Below there, below the center stack right here, you have some storage right down there with some USB ports, a 12-volt power outlet, another USB port, and a USB-C port right there. USB-C and USB Type A ports right there. It's very low. You guys will probably have to reach around this thing to, you know, put some USB port cords and whatnot in that area right there. The glove compartment, all you gotta do is press that button right there. It's damped but not lined with any felt like the door material right there that I mentioned earlier, but it does have a dual level where you can fit something right here and of course fit something up top. It's very deep, it goes way into the dash, and I guess that's an advantage of not having an actual engine in the vehicle. You press this arrow button right there, this comes up to your media settings, where the knobs turn into and your volume and tuning knob rather. I actually don't mind it now that I'm actually working with it in person. It looks pretty nice, and it's very futuristic, I would say. So again, guys, push that arrow right there. You go from your climate to your media settings. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. All you have to do is just press the button, and then you can see your temperature control, your fan speed. You can turn the AC on and off. You can have your vehicle on auto climate and whatnot. You know, just your regular everyday things that you may see in your vehicle as well. Only difference is you push that arrow and now you have your media settings, which this vehicle has your map, which this is a newer system, I believe, in Kia's new system right here, which is now called Kia Connect. It's no longer Kia EV6, so you guys be mindful of that as well. You have a nav button right next to the map button, which brings up, you know, places where you could input destinations and whatnot. Another favorites button, see your track up and down, your radio, media, and setup as well. 12.5 infotainment screen right here, rather. Very nice and wide, very high. Another reason why I would prefer this over the Ioniq 5 is because of the bezels. They're not white in color. I think white is a little bit too much for a vehicle, and you know, to some extent. A large bezel portion right here that separates the infotainment from the gauge cluster right here. I believe the gauge cluster is a 10 1/4 in size. You have a dedicated EV app right there to show you your range. I'm not sure if this vehicle will direct you to any chargers should you need them, like a Tesla does, but it'll be interesting to see if the EV6 does that. One thing I do notice here is that Kia got rid of that purple theme, so I guess they made it blue because this is an EV, and I guess blue is the EV theme color and whatnot. I'd much rather prefer this over that purple, whether this was an EV or not. I just rather, you know, prefer this color. It looks very mature, I guess you can say. Still has that map display on the side on your home screen when you have, you know, this side right here, this portion right here, and you have your map portion right there. Up top you have some nice blacked out material here. This isn't suede, probably more like a recycled material, but it does feel pretty nice, very grainy, has a nice tactile feel to it. As I said, guys, you have your sunroof here, which is standard size, but it does open, unlike the Ioniq 5. So again, guys, if you want your sunroof to open, you're gonna have to go for the EV6. You have your dome lights here that are touch controlled, so all you gotta do is touch it and the lights will come on. Full LED lights throughout the whole cabin, so you guys be mindful of that as well. Nothing special about the mirror, no reverse camera in the mirror and whatnot, but of course you don't need all of that when you have a 360 camera. But that's going to do it for the front, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into the rear of the EV6. Alright, hopping into the rear of the EV6 here. As you guys can see, same deal of materials on the door, except on the rear, this is definitely hard touch plastics. The front is definitely softer, but down below, same deal of material, soft and leather padded right here. Some more of that silver trim for the door handle, piano black plastics right here, and a nice speaker cover right there for your tweeter. Some more piano black plastics. Again, not one touch through the rear, so you guys be mindful of that. Some more of that material in the door for sound deadening, and another speaker for your Meridian audio sound system. And see, first thing you'll notice when you get inside here is how much space is in this vehicle. First of all, these seats do recline, so you guys be mindful of that. These seats do recline in the rear, and you also have, you just have a lot of space back here, guys. I guess this is another advantage of having an EV over the, you know, traditional gas and whatnot. As you guys can see, very flat floor. You can easily fit 3 people across this bench, 1 in the middle, and of course 2 on the sides and whatnot. There's no compromises back here, guys. There's a lot of room. I would say the only compromise here is not having any rear AC vents. I'm not sure if the all-wheel drive model gives you rear AC vents, but this rear-wheel drive does not. You also have 2 USB ports on the back of each seat. I'm surprised that Kia didn't decide to put the button on the side of the backrest to move this front seat forward like they do in some other vehicles. So that's something that I'm surprised not to see. You also have 2 map pockets on the back of each seat. Same deal of materials on the seats here. Very nice, very comfortable. It's just very spacious. You sit, or at least I sit very well in these seats, guys. So it feels very, very, very nice. As you guys can see, they actually put ambient lighting on the back, in the back row, which is something that they normally don't do. Give you rear vents right here. They just didn't put it right here. Except they put it on the B pillar rather than, you know, putting it right there on the center console. So that's a very neat addition to it. No heated or cooled seats for the rear. I'm not sure if either trim will offer heated or cooled seats for the rear. No manual or automatic sunshades back here. But of course you do have LED lighting. 2 coat hangers up here. And you also have this bulge on the back of each headrest that can also double as coat hangers. So very nice, very usable exterior back here, guys. You have 2 cup holders right here, of course, which you guys can open that portion right there to give you some more storage for some change or something like that. Very user friendly. And these seats again do fold down 60/40. So very nice, very usable space back here, guys. And I can honestly see why these vehicles are selling a lot. First of all, because they're electric, and electric is the future apparently. And even at this price point, this vehicle is flying off the shelves apparently, or at least people are ordering them ahead of time and they're getting their vehicles when they said they're going to get them. But that's going to do it for the rear of the EV6. Let's hop out and get another walk around. So guys, as you know, I don't normally drive the vehicles and whatnot, but today I have Mr. Brett here, who's one of the many great salesmen at Kia, at the Kia here in Arlington. And he's taking me on the drive of the Kia EV6 here. As I said, guys, this vehicle is very, very comfortable and actually feels pretty great driving. So, of course, I really don't like to give driving impressions because I don't get a good feel for it myself. And of course, it would feel different for you guys if you guys aren't driving the vehicles. So of course this vehicle is all electric, so you guys, when you guys drive this vehicle, you do hear an interesting sound coming from wherever it's coming from. It's not an actual engine and whatnot, it just makes a very great sound. And I believe you can change that in the settings where you can actually opt into different sounds. So you have your largest, moderate, and smallest change, which then brings you to either dynamic, stylish, and cyber rather. Very good brakes, I'd say. We're in sport mode right now? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Has a lot of power, guys. And no, I'm not being paid to say that. Believe me when I say this thing is quick, it is quick. And of course, if this feels quick, like I said, guys, the GT will be much faster So again, if you guys want a faster feeling EV6, you're gonna have to wait for the GT. Otherwise, this is a great vehicle, great range. The only gripe is, of course, charging this vehicle, where to charge it and how to charge it, because the power network here, or the charging infrastructure in the States, isn't the best unless you have a Tesla. But I guess that issue is being rectified soon, within the next 10 years or so, because they are pushing these EVs at us quicker than anything else. Can't wait till the GT comes out to see how that, how quick that one is. But again, guys, this is Kiaguyjoe. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll be sure to be back with more videos. Peace.